In recent years, Cambodia is no longer mentioned as the land of the magnificent lake or the peaceful beaches along the Volga. That name has become associated with the phrase. Hundreds of thousands of victims, hundreds of heavily guarded complexes, and billions of dollars flowing through digital wallets. Behind the high walls, an entire underground world of human trafficking networks is forced labor and high-tech fraud. Amid this wave, one name emerged that shocked international public opinion. Chen Zhi, also known as Hun Sen, head of the prince group, was not someone hiding in the shadows. He appeared publicly as a successful businessman who had sat beside Cambodia's highest-ranking leaders, praised by local media as a model investor bringing prosperity. Yet this same person was simultaneously sanctioned by the US and UK for running a global online scam network, burning billions of USD and detaining thousands under inhumane conditions. This event raises a painful question. How could such a figure thrive for many years without being stopped? And why, despite being accused by Western powers of money laundering, human trafficking, and fraud, the Cambodian authorities have yet to take legal action? Many believe the key lies in a complex relationship between Chen Zhi and a powerful elite. He was once appointed as an advisor to Prime Minister Hun Sen, and previously was a close confidant of former Prime Minister, the politician who held power for nearly 4 decades. In the Cambodian system, the title Opna was bestowed upon Chen Zhi, not only as a prestigious honor but also linked to economic and political influence, serving as a ticket into the upper echelons where business and government enter. When the US announced sanctions in early October, the list of organizations with frozen assets reached 146, many of which were companies within the Prince Group ecosystem. The US Department of Justice accused Chen Zhi of building a massive underground, holding funds equivalent to $15 billion US through crypto. What was shocking was not just the scale, but the operation. Everything happened openly, with luxurious buildings in Phnom Penh, grand opening ceremonies, and even the presence of high-ranking officials. If these allegations are true, then Prince Group is not just an ordinary business, but a perfect facade where crime, power, and economic development imagery are intricately woven. Many transnational crime experts have stated that Prince Group operated as a financial patron for political forces. This backing made Chen Zhi almost immune to investigation for a long time. When complexes in Sihanouk or Phnom Penh were accused of containing forced labor, the response from local authorities often stopped at administrative inspection. Meanwhile, his businesses continued to be promoted as symbols of international investment. The more people learned, the more they wondered if this was due to management incompetence, or a form of passive agreement where economic interests were prioritized over justice. Images of Chen Zhi appeared with Hun Sen at numerous public events, from urban development inaugurations to charity activity. When the US announced sanctions, a photo of the two shaking hands and smiling at a recent ceremony spread quickly. For the majority of the public, that photo was no longer a symbol of economic cooperation, but a reminder that the financial elite and the powerful in Cambodia are so intertwined they're hard to separate. And this very entanglement makes dealing with Chen Zhi a political challenge, even affecting government-sponsored charity programs. Such a business cannot simply collapse without consequences to the entire system. Cambodia's silence is therefore not merely an act of avoiding international public opinion, but could also be an effort to maintain internal stability amid ongoing power transitions between factions. However, that silence is severely damaging the country's image. International media calls Cambodia a haven for cybercriminal, where thousands are detained in buildings linked to technology companies. Many human rights organizations assert that most of those areas are within properties managed by Prince Group or their partners. If so, can the Cambodian government's responsibility stop it merely not known? Economically, Chen Zhi is a strategic investor, bringing billions of USD into real estate projects. But legally, he is internationally accused of being a tech criminal. These two contrasting images coexist in one person and seem to be naturally accepted by the system. This makes one wonder where the boundary between entrepreneurs and criminals lies in Cambodia today. From 2020 to 2024, thousands of people in Asia became victims of con health scams set up by scripts and staff in Chen Zhi's complexes. They are not real criminals, but evil victims, both deceived into working and forced to become tools for deceiving others. A UN report shows over 250,000 people are illegally detained in Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar, with a significant portion linked to the Prince Group network. Some witnesses say that although local police are well aware of these activities, they rarely take strong action. During inspections, camps are often warned in advance to evacuate or disguised as legitimate offices. This coincidence leads many to believe that some officials have directly benefited from corporations like Prince. Cambodia is not the only country facing cybercrime, but it is where these activities occur most openly. as if all accusations are merely unverified rumors. In the days after the US and UK simultaneously announced sanctions against Chen Zhi, reactions from the Cambodian government were however, instead of a strong mood, the incident seemed to be met with caution, even silence. Domestic and international public opinion believes that silence is not entirely coincidental, as Chen Zhi is not only but was also an advisor to Prime Minister Hun Sen and close to former Prime Minister Hun Sen, to make any decision concerning him. Some regional analysts argue that Cambodia's delay in taking a clear stance may reflect the complex relationship between the financial elite and the political outlook. Over the past decade, the country's economy has significantly relied on capital flows from private corporations, with Prince Group being one of the leaders. When the boundary between economy and politics becomes fragile, the tycoon being both a major investor and a political influencer is no longer rare. Observers also note that in a system where the Nick-Mona title is awarded to businessmen with large financial contributions, the relationship between power and money becomes increasingly difficult. This leads many to question whether Chen Zhi's activities are merely business, or if they conceal deeper layers of interest. Some international newspapers suggest that domestic media has reacted quite while Western press continuously mentions Chen Zhi's name in the accusation. In Cambodia, information about him has almost disappeared from newspapers. Some opinions suggest this is a way to protect the national image in a sensitive but others see it as a sign of information control, which is not unfamiliar in countries with centralized power systems. Transnational crime experts assess that the Chen Zhi story reveals a characteristic slice of the Southeast Asian, where private corporations often become bridges between power and economy. They can bring investment, jobs, and an image of development, but sometimes also open doors to shady money flows, dark agreements that are difficult to verify. Analysts warn that if the international accusations are proven, this incident could undermine confidence in the development model that Cambodia is pursuing in attracting foreign investment. However, approaching influential figures like Chen Zhi is not easy in the context of complex interest relationships. Regional public opinion is still closely monitoring every move. Some believe that justice will be served when there is sufficient evidence, while others worry that things will settle down like many previous scandals and gradually fade into oblivion. Regardless, the Chen Zhi case still leaves a mark on public perception. It makes people wonder, in a world where power, money, and fame intertwine, whether the truth still has a chance to be seen. For sometimes, the most frightening thing is not the crime, but the silence that covers it. Subscribe to the Gian Migo channel to not miss exciting videos.
Like the journey? Subscribe and join the next expedition.